Welcome to What If FC. This is the explainer where we take a high-energy look at the tournament that was and the tournament that could have been. I'm so pumped you're here today because we are literally about to rewrite the history of the 2026 World Cup. Stop and think for a second. Are you ready to explore some alternate football realities? Like, what if just one pass, one save, or one controversial decision had gone completely differently? The entire history of the sport would be changed forever. But to time travel and actually change the past, we're going to need a very specific tool. All right, let's dive right in. That tool? It's the third conditional. It's this fantastic grammar structure we use to imagine a different past and, well, a different outcome. We use it when we're talking about something that's already finished, like the 2026 World Cup, but we want to imagine what would have happened if things had gone down differently. It's basically the language of dreams, regrets, and the ultimate what-ifs. So, the absolutely crucial part is knowing how to build this little time machine. It's kind of like a cheat code, and it only has two simple steps. Step 1, we use if plus the past perfect, so that's had plus the verb. Step 2, we use would have plus the past participle, meaning if this had happened, that would have happened. Make sense? Okay, let's take this formula out onto the pitch. Let's put this into practice. We're traveling back to the scorching heat of Match 102 in Atlanta on July 15, 2026. This was that completely heartbreaking semifinal clash. On one side, you've got England. On the other, the defending champs, Argentina. The tension in that stadium was just absolutely electric. Now, let's look at the harsh reality of how that match played out. England actually took the lead. Anthony Gordon fired the Three Lions ahead in the 55th minute, but Argentina, doing what champions do, just refused to be beaten. They poured forward in waves, eventually scoring two late goals to win 2-1 and totally break English hearts. That's the reality. But hey, let's use our cheat code and create an alternate universe. So, reality, Argentina reached the final. Alternate, if England had scored a second goal, they would have reached the final. Listen closely to that structure. Had scored. Would have reached. It completely changes history. Seriously, just one more goal from Harry Kane or Jude Bellingham and the whole shebang changes. Moving on to the grand finale to see how this builds. We're now at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey for the ultimate showdown, Spain versus Argentina. Two continental champions going head-to-head. It was a fiercely defensive game, you remember. Spain's goalkeeper Unai Simón and their incredibly disciplined backline were literally an absolute wall. So the match goes to extra time, locked at 0-0. And then we hit the magic number 106. In the 106th minute of extra time, Spain's Ferran Torres sweeps home the winning goal. The stadium absolutely erupts and Spain takes the trophy. But let's apply our third conditional right here. What if the incredible Argentine goalkeeper had managed to just get a hand on it? If Emi Martinez had saved that shot, the match would have gone to penalties. I mean, just imagine the sheer drama of a penalty shootout to decide the World Cup. Had saved, would have gone. It's almost too intense to even think about for sure. Section 1. Butterfly effects and alternate universes. You know, in football, a slip on a water bottle or a magic pair of boots can trigger a chain reaction that completely alters the history of the sport. Look at this bizarre, real moment from the final. The reality? Lionel Messi didn't even get a shot off until the 116th minute, and when he finally did, Spain's Mikel Merino literally blocked it with his head. Our alternate universe? If Merino hadn't blocked it, Messi would have scored. See that? If Merino hadn't blocked it, notice that negative pass perfect there, Messi would have scored. Spain's dreams might have just collapsed right there on the spot. And man, this tournament was full of massive controversies that are honestly just perfect for practicing the third conditional. Let's impartially run through a few of them really quick. Number 1. If U.S. forward Folarin Balogun's red card hadn't been suspended, he wouldn't have played against Belgium. Number 2, coming from that crazy aftermath of the final, if Leandro Paredes had stayed calm, he wouldn't have received a red card for brawling. And number 3, looking back at the semifinal, if Argentina hadn't shown that Falklands banner, there wouldn't have been a controversy. It's pretty amazing how this grammar perfectly frames these huge historical events, right? Section 2, Third Conditional World Cup Quiz. All right, so you know the history, and now it's your turn for a rapid-fire quiz. I want you to literally shout out the missing words before I reveal the answer. Ready? Question 1. If Spain, blank, in brackets we have not play, so well, Argentina would have won. Look closely at the second half. Would have won.
So what do we need in that first half? Take a second. Shout it out.
The answer is hadn't played. Yes, if Spain hadn't played so well, Argentina would have won. Awesome job if you got that negative past perfect right. Let's keep this energy rolling for question 2.
Question 2. If Jude Bellingham had scored, England blank, in brackets we have beat, Argentina. This time, we already have the if plus past perfect right at the start. So what comes next? What's the rule?
The answer is would have beaten. Excellent. If Jude Bellingham had scored, England would have beaten Argentina. Let's really emphasize that pronunciation together. Would have beaten. It just flows beautifully when you say it out loud. Okay, let's move on to something just a little more open-ended. Question 3. What would have happened if 19-year-old Pau Cubarsí hadn't played? Remember, this incredible teenager anchored a defense that only let in one single goal in the entire tournament. Any guesses? Answer: Spain wouldn't have had the best young player. That's right, he actually took home the award over Lamine Yamal. If he hadn't played, Spain wouldn't have had that unbelievable defensive wall. It might have changed the outcome of the entire tournament. Okay, final quiz question, and watch out, this one tests a tricky, irregular verb. If the referee, blank in brackets C, the foul, he would have given a penalty. Think really hard about the past perfect of the verb to see. The answer is had seen. If the referee had seen the foul, he would have given a penalty. Really enunciate that had seen. It's a super common stumbling block, but I know you guys nailed it. Which brings us to the ultimate question. What if you had played in the 2026 World Cup? I want you to head down to the comments right now and drop your very own third conditional what if story. Seriously, go completely wild with your silly alternate universes. What if Messi had just stayed home? What if a goalie had played on roller skates? Or what if your grandmother had played for England? Use the grammar structure we learned today and let's see those alternate realities. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep practicing and ask yourself, what will you change about the past today?